Hello, Let's Talk family. What's going on? Today we are here with the stylist, the fabulous Jay McCray.
Hello, hi. How are you?
So, Jay McCray, Miss Jay McCray, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
First and foremost, I want to talk to you about how you found Dr. Brandy.
How did I find Dr. Brandy?
Yeah.
There was an event, and one of my girlfriends, Miss Sheena, she invited me out for a worthy cause, which I'm all about worthy causes, and she talked about Future for Teens, and me being a teenager at one point needing help. I was like, all right. I was able to go there and offer some coats to be auctioned off. It was a beautiful event. I really believe in what Brandy was doing, so I wanted to make my way over and make sure that I met her, and we instantly clicked.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So whenever you're picking out outfits for yourself or even for other people, what do you look at most? Is it patterns? Is it shades of colors that are going to match well? What's like your signature style?
Well, my signature style fits me, right? And so your signature style would fit you. So it's very important to me to have that conversation with my client. Are you looking to make a bold statement?
Okay.
Is this for your career? Well, what do you do for a living, right? Is this for an award? Now we're looking at something more formal. But when I'm styling somebody, it has to speak to who they are. It's a representation of you and of who you are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I start.
So let's talk about the styling process of a client. Mm-hmm. Is that usually you offer a few outfits and they try them on and they say yes to these, no to these? How does that work out exactly?
Well, yeah, well, absolutely. You want for a person to feel good in what they're wearing. At times we come across as men and as women, we have parts of our body that, I don't like my tummy, or I don't like my shoulders, or I don't like this, and I might think it looks absolutely fabulous and you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah.
But it's very important for you to be able to hold your head up and be proud of yourself and feel good. And actually, when you look good, you feel good, right? So if you have an event, if you have something coming up and something that's important to you, you want that message to come across in your attitude and your swagger and the way you walk and the way that you talk. And so your wardrobe introduces who you are and what you stand for before you begin to speak. So it's very important that the messaging is also in the wardrobe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little bit, even before meeting Dr. Brandy. How did you yourself get into fashion? Or what was the idea of just going into the fashion industry?
Well, it was a dream as a little girl, right? I mean, I was 8 years old and sketching in my little college rules notebook in elementary school, and I would sketch dresses and shoes and handbags, and I would cut the pictures of the models out, and I paste them on my wall. I was 8 years old when I started to do that. And then I started to collect Vogue magazines, and that was kind of how it all started, just as a kid. And as I got older, my friends always wanted to borrow my clothes, or I'd say, I got this will look cute on you. You should wear this, you should wear that. And then I'd see some of the things in my closet on TV. That made me feel great. So it was just kind of something that was always a part of my life. I always wanted to dress people around me and see people around me looking good and feeling good. So it became an opportunity when I was in my 30s.
Okay.
And my child's father noticed me sketching, and he's like, oh my God, these are dope. Like, I got to introduce you to some people. And so, he did his thing, and it just kind of took off. So it wasn't until my 30s that I started to make a career out of it.
So from a little girl, you knew that you wanted to do something in fashion.
I knew I wanted to do something in fashion. I knew that fashion was in me, right? I love to dress. I love to watch fashion shows. I collected Vogue magazines. I just thought it was freeing, right? Okay. It was liberating. to be so creative. And I felt very happy to be creative. I felt like I was able to express myself in my designs and in my drawings. So, yeah, as a kid, it was just in me, and it still is.
But everything's come full circle now to now.
Everything's starting to come full circle. I will say that. Everything's starting. I still don't have my own line, right? So right now, what you see in J. McCray style are other designers and vendors. I have been offered to create lines for other people. I've said no to all except for one, just recently.
Okay.
And as I began to say one, Spirit of the Lord was like, you better not say no to this, you know? So no, I've been actually praying for an opportunity to be more creative and start sketching again, because I kind of got away from that with the boutique world.
Okay.
There's so many vendors and so many designers already out. I don't know, I just kind of pulled back from it, but yeah, I'm gonna start designing my own line here pretty soon, and so that to me is full circle.
But you said that there was more of other vendors. Do you like the aspect of bringing in new designers and people with creative ideas? Is that something you enjoy doing?
Yes, those are my comrades. To be a designer is to be an artist. To be an artist, we are not always understood. Our perception in the way that we see the world sometimes is different. Well, I like to see how you may see the world, or what your interpretation is of the world.
Yeah.
So I love to work with other creatives. I think that there is space for new emerging designers. As you can see, there's new emerging designers coming up all the time. And there's room for all of us.
Would you say that that's usually not a problem, but how some would be like, I don't want to work with him, like there's already too many people in this space?
Well, I can see, like, there is only one J. McCray. Period.
Yeah, speak that.
There is only one. And there is only one you, and there is only one her, and him, and they, and and so you have to connect with your authentic self in order to create something new. Now, to be inspired by other designers and other artists is great. To be a copycat, not so much, right?
Yeah.
And so I do believe that the creativity comes in saying, hey, this is who I am, this is my authentic self, this is who I want to represent. And so when you're creating from that space, there's no telling what you could create. There's no telling. You have to get out of your mind, what is this person gonna think of? What is that person gonna think of? What's trendy now? And no, create a new trend based on the spirit, the vibe, the attitude, the message that you want to send to the world. If I'm feeling distressed, maybe I'll wear some distressed clothes. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows? If you're feeling like, you know what, I don't care what people think about me. I want to feel free to do me, whatever, whenever. I'm dyeing my hair purple. Who knows what conversation you were having in your head when you decided to cut your hair or dye your hair or cut your clothes or wear the bright orange, or whatever that conversation is that you're having with self that allows you to express yourself. That's very important, because that is the mood, right? So I say in my daily style tips, address how you're feeling. Sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I don't feel, like today I was feeling a little sick. I got on my big cozy sweater. I'm like,
Yeah.
So how you feel is going to come across in what you decide to put on for the day and the efforts that you put into it, right? Okay. How you want to feel, though, the goal. Well, I might not feel good today, but I got some stuff to do. I got to get on stage today. I got to be a boss today. And so you put that suit on, or you do whatever you have to do to exude how you want to feel. And so, you know, that's being authentic. That's being authentic. You have to make the decision of the messages that you want to send across to people, and even yourself. Who am I? And it expresses itself.
Okay. Is there ever any worries about people taking your designs?
No, I don't care about that.
No, they just like take them.
Well, no, there's nothing new under the sun. I could literally sit here and draw something off the top of my head and think it's never been done before. And somebody has shown me a painting from 1789, and I'd be like, that dude kind of looked like that. You know, I don't know, right? Yeah. Because we have so many influences coming at us, from what we read to what we watch on television. You know, there's so many influences coming at us and inspiring us. Like, how many, am I not going to make a t-shirt line because so many people have a t-shirt line? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right? You have to connect with your people. And in order to do that, it's about your brand. And what your brand is your message and who you are. And then those are your comrades. That's your tribe. Those are your people. So I never worry about that.
I like that. It's like, whatever's gonna be, let it be.
Man, the dress, how many different designs of a dress are there, right? And then you have people that's purposely out there knocking off other designers. What, am I gonna quit? No, there's no quitting me. This is my life. This is the life that I've chosen for myself. So you cannot be fearful. You have to be faithful, even in fear.
Okay.
Even in fear, even in hesitancy. Like, what I like when I know that something great is about to happen is when I'm excited and scared. When you can identify when you're a little bit scared and you're nervous and this is going to be a challenge and you know it's going to take some work and you don't know if you can pull it off, but then you're like, well, damn, what if I did?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Everything's been leading up to this moment. I got enough connections. I'm capable. I ain't lazy. I think I could do it. And you do it. You do it. You tell that voice in the back of your head that says you can't. Shut up. You know, go have a seat.
Let's go to work.
Let's go to work. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
You learn something. That's it.
I like that. It's a good philosophy to have.
It's really no failure.
Just learning.
You're just learning. You're just learning how to do it. That's it. Just like a baby learns to walk and he falls down. Well, get back up. And that's it. That's really, really it.
I like that. Now, so as TikTok came along, as with, I don't want to say Vine, but as TikTok came along, there has been a lot of fashion trends. Mm-hmm. It's the graphic tee, the 5-inch seam shorts, the dunks. So out of all those trends that you've seen, what is your least favorite and what is your favorite?
I don't know how to answer that question. I don't really have a least favorite.
Or maybe like even a trend you didn't like that like was fashion like trend.
Well, it's just really not for me to say what's good for somebody else.
Okay.
Right? I personally don't like people walking around looking like zombies.
I like the distress, like super distressed clothing.
I wear distressed jeans. I wear ripped jeans, right? I might even wear a ripped shirt.
Yeah.
But somehow I come across fly. There are designers that I'm not gonna name. The olive green, the dark gray, the dingy off black, the sleeves coming down over your arms.
Okay.
It's not fitted well, you know, and they have their models walking down the runway, no smile, and they look dead. And they look like zombies. And the designer is doing that on purpose. and he's sending a message to the world. And he's an artist, and he's sending a message to the world. You people are dead. You people are zombies. And as ugly as this look, you're still gonna buy it. I don't support that message. I don't support that message. I support life. I support liberty. I support freedom. I support love. I do not support putting people down. I support lifting people up. And to me, when I see a message like that coming down the runway, I would not encourage a person to express their depression. I would encourage a person to take that word out of their vocabulary and decide how I want to feel. You might address how you feel today and say, oh man, I feel sad from what happened in my past, and this is coming up, and that, oh, I just broke up with my man, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's how you feel. How do you want to feel though? You want to feel bright. You want to feel like a winner. You want to feel like a star. You want to feel like a person that's making things happen. You want to feel satisfied, right? I feel satisfied in my relationships. I feel satisfied in my life. What does that look like? To wake up happy, right? Not to just say, let me just throw something on real quick, because
Yeah.
When you do that, you're saying that to yourself and you're exuding that energy.
Okay.
And you're wearing it. And everybody around you knows it. When you don't comb your hair, when you don't shower, when you wear dirty clothes, everybody around you knows. And they're like, what's wrong? What happened?
Yeah, it's a visible thing.
It's visible. Would you prefer that? Or would you prefer to say, you know what, how do I want to feel?
Yeah.
And so you put those clothes on and you iron your pants, iron your shirt, do the best that you can with what you have. I'm an avid thrift store shopper. When I moved back home, I gave up my condo. I gave up a career that I was doing very well in Las Vegas. I was really making a name for myself. And I said, you know what? My relationships suck. I'm sad every single day. And it's becoming hard to do my job. I gotta go fix my relationships. That was a personal decision that I made for my health and my well-being, right? Get to that place, whatever it takes. And for me, it's a life hack to get dressed and put on a dress, put on a smile. I'm gonna wear my smile. I'm gonna wear it in my clothes. I'm gonna get this bright orange bag, right? I'm gonna wear a yellow shirt today. I'm gonna wear some bright green today. That's me. It's a life hack. I'm gonna put on a power suit with a crisp white shirt. You can never go wrong with that, right? So I encourage people, you can address how you feel. That's step one. Step two, though, how do you want to feel? And you have to dress the goal.
Okay.
The goal, because that is going to take your mentality to another place. It's going to take your mind and your mental to another place. And you're going to forget about what you were thinking about when you woke up that morning.
Yeah, because when you have a good outfit on, you feel fly. You feel good. You feel
and
good
you're
all
going to
day.
get complimented that day. You're going to open up your mouth. You're going to speak to people. They're going to speak back. And they're going to feel that good energy. They're going to feel that vibe.
Yeah, the confidence goes up a few points.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time. I guarantee that. And so that is why I continue to do what I do. I have my own personal love for passion, but why I turn it into a career and why I fight so hard to stay in business, even with the pandemic and everything, the struggle that I went through, it's important that people understand that they have power. I have power. I have power over my life. I have power over my mental health. I decide. It is my decision to be sad or to be glad. And I decide to be glad. Do I want to be fearful or do I want to have faith? That is my decision. That is my right. And I might start off in fear. But you feel the fear and you do it anyway. That's actually a book. You feel the fear and do it anyway.
Okay.
Do it anyway. And that's what faith is. It isn't the absence of fear.
It's doing things with the account that fear is going to be.
It's never going away. That voice inside your head is never going to go away. It's a part of you because we're imperfect people. But you have to say, I'm in control. And you stand up and you put your suit on.
Keep it pushing.
And you keep it pushing. And you make it happen. And you think about the goal. And that's it.
Okay. Now, could you talk a little bit about how business was going in COVID? Because not a lot of people, nobody's leaving the house, so there's no real need to buy clothes.
I won't say no one was leaving the house. I won't even say that. I literally became very, very low and very, very sad because some of my friends put their shields on, they put their mask and their sequins on, and they put, and they went out anyway. Mm-hmm. Well, I have pre-existing conditions, and so does my mother and my father, and I have a little child. My friends, their kids were grown. I was so terrified of putting anybody in my family and myself at risk because you didn't know if you were going to die from it because so many of my friends and family and people that we knew died.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to take that risk. I literally shut everything down.
Oh, you called it off immediately.
I shut it down, and I went to my car and I screamed. And I didn't get dressed for a few days. I had to move all my stuff out of the store. I was in Greenfield Plaza at the time. I moved all of my stuff at the store. I was going to buy a new condo. I was looking into renting a condo or whatever, and I was like, there's no way that would be a smart move right now, 2020 March. Like, there's no way that would be a smart move. And so I went to my car and I screamed and I cried and I talked to God and I was like, what am I going to do? And I stayed in bed. I didn't get dressed for a few days. And then I came up with Loving Me Style session.
Okay.
And I connected with my friends in Las Vegas, in New York, in Atlanta. And I was like, well, how are you doing with this?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, let's talk about it.
Yeah, calling the troops.
Let's talk about it over Zoom. Let's record it and give ourselves facials while we do it. So that was my first Loving Me Style session. Yeah, so I do have a tendency to try to turn my frown upside down. I was really, really sad. And
which is good because it's those who can overcome adversity that overcome it.
Yeah.
Not overcome it, but they end up in a better place than where they were before.
Well, I'll tell you where that comes from. Reading. I read a lot of personal development books and autobiographies of people that have overcome. Since I'll be 40 this year, so I'm 39 now. I would say I really, really dug into it. I was 22, 23. Every day. I read every day.
Pages
and now
or
with Audible, whatever I can.
Oh, okay.
If I get 5 minutes in, take 5 minutes. I get another 5 minutes, I take another 5 minutes. If I'm in my car, cut off the negative music and put on an Audible, and you'll be surprised how much positivity you can download. And when you're just downloading it and you're taking it in, when something bad comes up, you have storage. You have the tools, you have the tools and you have what you need already within you. And you have to tell yourself that I have tools, I have the resources, I have everything I need right now to take the next step. And you try to recall those lessons and those things to mind. I could say, oh, I read that in that book. Oh, I read that in that book. Oh, well, he did this. And so now these people are like my friends and they don't even know it, right? Like, this is advice that I've been able to pick up along the way. I felt bad or my confidence was low in certain areas because I didn't have the college education that I wanted. Okay. But when I was 22, I was a part of a business development program, and it encouraged reading. And so I developed a thirst for it. I appreciate it now. When I start to speak and things come up and situations and circumstances arise, I'm equipped. I can say something, I can do something.
Yeah.
But you have to download that into you. That positive self-talk. It really, really changes your whole state of mind.
Okay.
And your state of being when it's time to talk to someone, get out of the funk that you might be in, when it's time to do the work. You have to change your state of mind. That voice in your head is not going to go away. But you have to know that you have the power. And so now you need the language. And so the books will help give you the actual tools and the language that you need, the words to fight, to change your state of mind.
So talking about getting out of that funk, I know everybody's formula or equation to get out of that is, it looks different for everybody. So for you, what does that look like? I know it includes a good book, but what are the other pieces to the equation?
So after I had to close my store in Partridge Creek, a lot of things happened, right? All at once. I had to decide, am I going to try to save my apartment or am I going to try to save my store?
That's tough.
Am I going to live at home and move back home with my parents? Well, who wants to move back home with their parents at 40 years old? And I'm like, should I do?
Yeah.
This is hard, you know? Like, I was dropping my son off there every single day, picking him up when I got off work. Then I was working a part-time job. I wasn't eating right. I didn't know that it was affecting my health. I was literally trying to be superwoman and do it all. My hemoglobin levels was low. So many, my iron, so many things in my blood, the doctor had explained it to me, but my blood levels were low. I literally started to like flip out. Like I couldn't concentrate. I could not hold a conversation that was too heavy for me. I felt guilty about going to sleep because there was so much that I needed to do. But I couldn't do it by myself. So I literally needed to move back home no matter what it looked like, no matter how old I am. And that was a hit to my ego. I worked so hard to have a store in a Partridge Creek in a nice spot. I really wanted downtown Detroit, but you know, so let's try it here. We're out here. We support each other. There's no other boutique like this, right? Because there's so many places where like there's the same type of boutique everywhere you look. There's the same type of store. So to what you were saying earlier, let me move out here because there's only one other Black-owned boutique. The customers weren't there. The money literally was not there. And I'm spending money, I'm investing money month after month after month. And I qualified for a small business loan. How is it that I qualified for this small business loan? Got approved for the small business loan, but never got the money. Everybody has their theory on that. I'm not gonna worry about it. I was like, you know what? I can't handle this anyway.
Yeah.
And that was a hit to my ego. To admit I could not handle running the store, soccer practice, dropping my son off and picking him up from school, cooking, keeping my house clean, taking care of myself, making my therapy appointments, having a boyfriend, spending time with my grandmother and my... What?
Yeah, that's
I
a lot.
am tired. Did I eat today? Did I eat? Right? Literally, I wouldn't eat till 2 o'clock. Like, I would forget to eat. How did I actually get out of it, right? All these things were happening to me. And my physical health, I was very drained. I was in a relationship, a friendship that was draining me. I had to cut that person off for a while. I had to focus on my diet and my eating habits. I had to make my doctor's appointments. You know, I was getting iron put in intravenously,
Wow.
iron transfusion. I didn't even know it was that bad, right? Like I literally could have died and I didn't even know it. When you're just going and doing and doing and doing, you forget to eat. And that was a wake-up call for me. None of it mattered if I wasn't here.
Yeah. As hard as you work, there's nothing
My
left.
son needs his mom. Yeah, I can still love fashion and still dress fabulous without running a store. My son needs his mother. I'm his only mother. I want to live.
Yeah.
I want to hug my mom. I want my family. Nothing else is more important to me than my family. The sacrifices that I've made for my business have all been about sharing and growing with my family. I'm not going to sacrifice my life, which means I can't have my family because I'm so wrapped up in making money and business and striving that I'm not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine had sent me a schedule of Mark Wahlberg's. He wakes up at 3 a.m. and he does prayer and meditation in the morning. Now, I don't know why Mark Wahlberg stuck with me, but throughout my years of reading, plenty of people get up early.
Yeah.
To meditate and pray. There was a time in my life where I didn't get up early to meditate and pray. It was the first thing I did in the morning. So I started to do that. I got up at 6 a.m. before the house woke up, and I just sit up in my bed in complete silence, and I would visualize what it would look like for me to be healthy, physically healthy, smiling, breathing easy without the anxiety. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What would it be like to be physically healthy? Not to be weighed down by extra pounds, not to have back pain.
Yeah.
If I could just reset, what would it look like? What would I eat every day? How would I work out? What would my workout routine be? What would life be like? What would I be doing every day if I were physically at my best self? No pain. No pain. Mm-hmm. And so I visualized that, and I prayed for energy and patience, and I literally paid attention to nothing having to do with business for maybe a couple of weeks, because when the reality hit that I could have died, I could have just fainted and nobody knew what was wrong with me. I have a kid, and so my health and my mental health, people were questioning my mental health. I began to question my mental health. When you lack certain vitamins, when you're not eating, your immune system is low. And when your immune system is low, and your iron is low, and your blood sugar is low, and this and this and this and that is low, you sound like you're drunk, right? You sound a little wonky. Your emotional state isn't, because you're hungry, right? It's ain't hangry, you know, they're hungry and angry all at the same time. I was lacking some serious vitamins. And I was lacking in patience and tolerance and all those things that I thought that I had learned to exude and practice, but I was not. And it didn't dawn on me till I started making my doctor's. I wasn't even making my doctor's appointments because I was putting work before even making my doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
No. No way. No way. There is no amount of money. There is no award that is more important to me than my mental health and my physical health and showing up as a mother to my son every day. Every day. We can take care of ourselves just fine with me working a routine job.
Yeah, you come first.
He comes first, I come first. Mental health, physical health, spiritual well-being, emotional well-being, being able to change my state of mind. It came from my core belief system.
Okay.
I don't put money first. If you ask me, do you put money first in your life? Who would say yes to that? But are you putting money first in your life?
Were you earlier with like the store?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So back then it would be store, me, and then whatever needs to be paid.
It was store, my son, me, God.
So you were almost last, basically.
Yeah.
Or essentially last.
Yeah. It's God, me, my son, the store. Because I have to replenish, and I have to go to my source to replenish. And then I have to feed into and pour into my son. And the store is a blessing and an expression of who we are, and the work and the seeds that we sow. So that all has to trickle down from source. I was all out of alignment. Once I began to accept and appreciate and acknowledge that, I had to meditate every day of what it would look like to get back into an alignment and put my emotional, physical, spiritual well-being first.
Okay.
Take a pause. That did not happen overnight. Had to have some serious conversations with my ego.
Yeah.
But I feel a lot better.
That's good.
I feel a lot better. My relationships are a lot better.
Yeah.
My relationship with self is a lot better. You start to see things around you and you're like, I'm on the right path again.
That's how this is supposed to look.
This is how it's supposed to feel. This is how it's supposed to feel. It's supposed to be in ease and ebb and flow.
Yeah.
You know when you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing and you're doing it anyway.
Yeah, something just feels off.
It just feels off. And it drains the hell out of you. You're tired. You're drained. It's draining all of your essence. It's draining all of your energy. You're drained. You're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah, no, you can definitely feel like the bad energy when you're not supposed to be doing something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You should be feeling replenished, and that you can now give, and your cup should overflow. Your cup shouldn't be empty.
Yeah.
That means it's draining you. So there's a huge difference in that. There's a huge difference if you're pouring into something and nothing is pouring back into you. And so that's why you have to put God first, because you can't go empty.
That's
You
true.
absolutely can't go empty.
Because then you don't start feeling well.
You don't feel well. Yeah.
Well, Mrs. McCray, Jay McCray, fabulous. I wish I could talk to you for a lot longer because I know we could go for 2 hours, 3
I'm a
hours.
talker.
But I know you got to get out of here.
Yes.
So before we end off, do you want to shout anything out? Social
Jay
medias,
McCray
websites?
Style. Please feel free to read the blog, reach out to me. jmccraystyle.com. JMCCRAYSTYLE. jmccraystyle.com. I will let you know something. Yes, there are some dropship items coming from LA, coming from the US. Okay, so I was able to add a lot more hot items to the store, and they are coming straight from LA. They will be shipped within 1 to 3 business days. Some things I do currently have in stock. jmccraystyle.com. Okay, or you can email me at shop@jmccraystyle, shop@jmccraystyle, or you can DM me, which I appreciate that too. You can DM me through Instagram or Facebook. I'll get that right away at J. McCray Style Boutique.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for coming on again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. That's been this episode. Peace.